So just to introduce myself really quickly, my name is Kevin. I'm representing SDB 10X, and honored to be here. And sitting with us, we also have Carlton and Jasper. I think the best way to kick us off is to let you guys introduce yourself and how you contribute to the advancement in decentralized AI.
Yeah, hi everybody, I'm Carlton, and I'm co-founder for ORA Protocol. We are building Ethereum trustless AI. So we utilize the decentralization property of Ethereum to provide decentralized inference for smart contract. And another thing we do is called initial model offering. We tokenize AI model on blockchain.
Hi everyone, glad to be here. I'm Jasper. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Hyperbolic. I did my math PhD at UC Berkeley. I finished in 2 years, which made me the fastest person to finish a PhD in the history of Berkeley when I was 24 years old. It also gave me the idea of the name of my future company, Hyperbolic, because I was doing topology and hyperbolic geometry research. Before that, I graduated from Peking University from China with the highest honor, Student of the Year, and I also won a few gold medals in various mathematical competitions. After that, I worked at Citadel Securities and Avalanche before founding Hyperbolic Labs. So at Hyperbolic, we're building a decentralized AI cloud to enable open access to AI. We believe AI is the most powerful tools known to the mankind, and in the future, AI will be integrated with the most important systems like social media, finance, transportations, robotics, and even your brains. And right now in the centralized ecosystem, there's no way for you to participate in controlling this advanced technology, let alone let you participate in the revenue sharing opportunities. So we hope at Hyperbolic, we're building this open AI ecosystem and economy of the people, by the people, for the people, where AI infrastructure, services, and models are accessible, governed, contributed, and benefit all of you.
Impressive, impressive.
Yeah, very impressive, Wicked. So starting with you, Carlton, ORA Protocol aims to bring AI complex computation on chain. How does this contribute to the decentralization of AI? And also, what are the challenges you have faced in implementing this kind of technology?
Yeah, I think like a lot of people ask me like why we choose to use Ethereum as like the from before trustless and decentralized to do AI, right? It's like when we say talking about decentralization, like we like I want the audience also think about what is the most decentralized system here, right? Beside Bitcoin, that's like Ethereum. So that's why we choose Ethereum as like the platform to launch the AI model on chain, so that people can use it without any restriction. And so I think like decentralized AI come with like two part of like utility. The first part utility is that like we can use AI to improve our user experience with DApp. It's like, you know, one of the biggest problem for DApp is like it's not easy for beginner to learn how to use it. If we can use like AI to smooth out the difference between different chain and different DApp, and the user just need to tell the AI what they want to do with blockchain, then it will be a really powerful user experience. So probably in the future, you don't need to open a website to connect the wallet to do a blockchain swapping or any trading or any interaction with blockchain. You can just like open your chatbot to talk with the AI to do that, let them do it for you. And another session that have really strong utility for AI on blockchain is that like we can use AI to reshape how the DApp work. For example, right, like we all know like a compound is like a really good lending protocol on blockchain. You can just like, but like the thing is that like traditional lending protocol, when you decide if there's an asset that can be lended in the protocol, is based on DAO voting. So this process is really slow. So every day there's like more than 10,000 new assets got issued on blockchain. But you cannot expect that the lending protocol DAO will be able to have enough manpower to vote for it every day, right? So you gotta use AI model to make this decision, automate something that used to be done by human, and now you can have like this AI agent represent different DAO voter to vote for this certain issue. They will increase the capital efficiency on blockchain. So like this is just one of the use case. And another would be like AI GC NFT. You can That before, if you want to launch an NFT, you need a hire artist to draw a paint, right? Draw artwork before you publish that. But like now, you can just use the AI model to generate a NFT collection for your fans or whatever. So like it will also increase how fast you launch a new asset. So like, because blockchain is all about trading and like asset launching. So like, I think these two things will be like permanently changed by AI.
Okay, great. Moving on to Jasper, and I'm gonna move to you, Mark. Welcome. Jasper, Hyperbolic aims to provide affordable GPU access. How crucial is this for democratizing AI, and what other challenges have you faced?
Yeah, so like just to summarize the vision, we're not only trying to bring GPU access, we're trying to bring open access to all the AI services and tools. But in terms of GPU power, we think like currently most centralized computing power are controlled by big companies, which restrict both those talented AI developers and researchers and small companies to being able to participate in this AI trend. And so what Hyperbolic do is that we're building this decentralized orchestration layer to aggregate global GPUs so that no matter you are a Web2 data centers or individual machines or even Web3 data centers or even like GPU tokenization projects like Aethir can being able to participate and contribute a compute to this orchestration network so that the users on the demand side are able to access the global GPU without actually getting approval by those big companies and data centers. And on top, we're trying to build a full suite of AI services to leverage the power of the GPU compute. So as a first party, we build a decentralized AI inference service that provide open access to state-of-the-art AI models like Llama 3 or Flux, etc., utilizing the decentralized GPU power. We also build an advanced AI compiler service that can compile different AI models into heterogeneous compute. Because in our network, we will have NVIDIA GPUs, we have AMD GPUs, we have Apple GPUs, but how to leverage the power of this heterogeneous compute require real expertise in AI, which we are currently working on that. I think the challenge is that you really, because like you are in a decentralized network, so there are like three main problems that you need to solve. So first, you need to still make the performance as fast and reliable as centralized service. We somehow proved that because we launched our AI inference service 3 months ago, and it's being used not only by Web3 AI projects, but also Web2 AI developers, including Andre Karpathy, which is the OpenAI co-founder. He shouted out on Twitter saying that he's using Hyperbolic for his research. And yesterday, an independent AI research organization called Artificial Analysis just published a report to say that Hyperbolic is actually providing one of the best qualities of AI services on the market among all these Web2 and Web3 AI providers. And then the second and the third problems will be verifiability and also privacy, which we're working on that.
Great. Mark, since you just joined, why don't you give a quick round of intro and how you contribute to the decentralization of AI?
Sure. Sorry for being late. I apologize. My name is Mark. I'm the co-founder here at Aethir. And to be fair, you just received a pretty good introduction to what Aethir does as well. We do a number of similar things. We are a decentralized GPU infrastructure provider for AI and gaming companies. We do a lot on the gaming side that does differentiate our cloud a lot from maybe the pure AI space. But what we do on the AI side is essentially very similar to what the Hyperbolic guys do. We provide easier, more affordable, more scalable access to GPU resources. We make it more cost-effective and more friendly for AI builders to access critical compute resources. Effectively, we're looking to give as many builders the opportunity to be building in the AI space as possible, and hopefully encourage some pretty exciting innovation outside of these big tech companies that we all know and love.
The Hyperbolic genius is not Hyperbolic guy.
That's it.
Okay, Mark, still at you. How does your approach at Aethir differ from traditional cloud computing? Yeah.
Sure. I mean, the most obvious answer there is that if a traditional provider is someone like AWS, right? If you go and you purchase the machines that AWS are actively using, and you go, hey, AWS, can you take my machine and please use it within your network and essentially pay me some sort of reward for utilization of that equipment? They'll say no, right? You don't have the ability to do that, despite the fact that you know the resource you own is not only valuable to them, but valuable to the kind of broader compute ecosystem. Well, in a decentralized network like Aethir or Hyperbolic, you can take that machine and you can, right? You can give it to this orchestration layer, this infrastructure layer, and allow that company, like Aethir or Hyperbolic, to then connect you with this global demand ecosystem in a way that makes that asset valuable. And this is really interesting, right? Because at the end of the day, it's incredibly difficult for retail users to actually get exposure directly to AI, right? You can't go and buy AWS stock, for example. You can't buy Google Cloud stock or Microsoft Azure. You're diluted through the exposure to all of the different things that these companies build, and it's incredibly difficult. If you want to go and invest in OpenAI or Mistral or one of these, or Anthropic, like one of these companies building at the forefront of like the frontier AI model space, you can't unless you're a billionaire, unless you're coming in one of these very expensive rounds. It's pretty much out of reach. Really, honestly, the only way as a regular person that you're getting exposure to OpenAI stock is by going and getting employed there, right? That's the only way to get it.
No, most people cannot do it.
Exactly. So really what we're doing here is creating this opportunity for either direct investment through owning infrastructure that you know will have value within this AI economy, or from a token perspective, access to direct investment into AI infrastructure itself. And I think that's a really cool opportunity for a number of different reasons. You have this kind of DeFi layer that's being built on top of this AI infrastructure stack now with RWAs and fractionalized kind of GPUs. Again, the equipment that powers the AI ecosystem is incredibly expensive. An H100 is $300K, right? Again, not something the average person can purchase. And on top of that, you need pretty secure and specialized relationships with NVIDIA to even get a hold of one of these machines. So again, this DeFi layer, this fractionalization, this tokenization of these assets gives you the ability to purchase something that you wouldn't have access to otherwise. And I think that there's a lot about centralized AI that excludes retail, that excludes the average person. And I think that what we're building in the decentralized AI space in particular is a far more inclusive environment, inclusive of accessibility and kind of economic access, but hopefully as well inclusive of the voice of governance that I think we deserve to have as a community, as opposed to just maybe the profit-led objectives of these massive organizations as they try and structure and build their models in a way that doesn't offend or gives them the best outcome from an open market perspective.
Thanks. So to each and every one of you, what do you see as the biggest challenges in implementing decentralized AI system? And another big question is, how can we overcome them? Yeah, starting with you, Carlton.
Yeah, so when we talk about decentralization, like essentially what we are talking about is like verifiability for computation. So think about Bitcoin, right? Like the reason why you trust all this Bitcoin node to execute the ledger is because like you can verify that through the root of the block and the hash root of the block. And so same for AI. Like the biggest challenge is like if AI computation is like computation heavy, then how we can verify that? Because like if this AI inference is executed by a stranger that you don't know, right? Because decentralization means that this certain computation job is computed by another person, and probably you don't know them. It's just no trust entity, it's zero trust between you and that certain computation entity. And how to verify that will be like the most important step. It's the biggest challenge for blockchain AI or decentralized AI for a really long time. So I started ORA like 2 years ago, and when ChatGPT launched, when OpenAI launched ChatGPT, it amazed me. So my last company also is like working on AI, and so back then, 2015, the only way you do chatbot is pretty much like LSTM plus RNN neural network, recursive neural network, and then like this technology can only make you not that far. It's like kind of retard compared with like the OpenAI ChatGPT today. And so when I see ChatGPT, it was like, I'm really sure this thing have like emergence in the intelligent network. So it will change a lot of stuff, especially blockchain industry. So, but the biggest problem is that, right? Because like when you want to use some external compute or external data on blockchain, you need to make sure, for the D app, you need to make sure that there is no single point of failure. So like if you use like traditional API services from a AI company, AI model provider, it won't work for blockchain. That's why like when you go to like DeFi, you have like Oracle services like Chainlink. You have this Oracle network role for a result for confirm a data status. And same for AI, right? So like that's how I come up with the AI Oracle idea. But just the idea is not enough, right? We need to actually have like this technology to have people run the AI model in their own environment, and another people can trust that, and that is verifiable. And so we develop a technology called OPML, optimistic machine learning. So we use Merkle tree to do the binary trap for AI inference, so that people can verify the AI inference on a smart contract. So that smart contract have like no single point of failure when they use AI model on chain. And so that's like how we start, how we overcome the decentralization problem for AI. Yeah. And then the second, and the second problem there is pretty much is like if you really talk with this AI company people, right? Like most of them have a little bit bias on crypto, and they don't want to develop an AI company, AI model for a crypto company, obviously. But although there's like this bias, there's so many demand there, right? So that's why like the biggest challenge I see for like decentralized AI on blockchain right now is that like AI company do not pay attention on the demand on crypto of AI. So that's why like I promote this new concept, like fundraise for AI model, like fundraise for AI model for blockchain, fundraise for our own community to build an AI model for crypto community.
Just quickly on the verified inference on chain, how does that affect the speed of inferencing, or at what stage does the verification happen?
Yeah, the verification only happen when you have dispute. So the speed is like exactly the same with like API services, but like the verification will have like triple or quarter cost. So pretty much you spend like 0.1 cents on the inference, you need to spend like 4 cents on the verification on blockchain, on Ethereum. Yeah.
So speaking of verification, Hyperbolic also doing research on that. So like people propose like using different ways to do verification of AI. So like for example, OPML, which is using optimistic mechanism and fraud proof to verify the correctness of the results. There are people mentioning about using consensus, basically like ask several nodes to generate the result based on the same request and choose the majority answer out of the results. And then you can also use ZK, which is like generate a ZK proof to show the correctness of the results. At Hyperbolic, we have another way, which is like we call it proof of sampling. And the applications on ML is SPML, which is a sampling-based verification mechanism utilizing crypto economics to reduce the computation overhead. So instead of check all the results all the time, we have a probabilistic method to pick a certain samples of the results. And then if the result is deemed wrong, then we'll punish the nodes with a high penalty. So this kind somehow reduce the computational overhead. Right now, we can prove that with only 1% checking, the system actually have pure strategy Nash equilibrium, which means that every node will behave 100% honest all the time. However, like I would say, like different verification mechanisms have different trade-off. And if you really want really high security, then I would encourage you to use ZK. But if you only want to use AI for daily usage, like in our use case, then we suggest you to use proof of sampling. And then in terms of the challenges that we're facing, I think besides the technical challenges, the biggest challenge is the adoption of traditional AI people. And this is how we try to focus on at the current stage, because we want to deliver services that actually have the same performance and reliability as traditional AI services. And then later on, once we can deliver that services, we can try to add on more extra features like verifiability, like privacy protection, etc. But I would say getting adopted by AI people is the biggest challenge. And I think Hyperbolic is one of the players that actually already got some adoption, and will keep improving that by building very Web2 user-friendly user experience. So we kind of abstract the crypto element from the demand side, but on the supply side, we'll allow people to participate and mine the coins that we probably will have, and like share the economy that we build together.
So when Hyperbolic token?
Yeah, it's like on the roadmap. Yeah.
On the roadmap.
I think you guys have spoken really well about inference, right? And the role that maybe crypto and the blockchain can play in kind of decentralized inference and verification on chain of inferencing. So maybe I'll talk to the training side, right? Training in AI benefits so much from centralization, right? To the extent that real training applications of large language models effectively require centralization, in the sense that you need these co-located machines connected through effectively InfiniBand style connections that allow simultaneous, speed of light communication between these GPUs. We speak of points of failure before. That's a point of failure, right? That's a point of control. That's a level of centralization that gives these machines or these structures for training. I guess it's not something that I totally like, right? And I think that anyone that's building in the AI space doesn't really like that, because it's very easy to control those resources. And the idea of having distributed training, or training that occurs across devices all over the world, right? Devices potentially that are owned by you or me, is something that I think a lot of people in this space aspire to be able to achieve. It's not something we can do yet. It's something that a lot of interesting kind of research is being done on. But effectively, this idea of distributed training, where you can take fractions of models and have them trained in parallel across lots of different machines, and then somehow recompile them into a solution that is commensurate with what you can train on large clusters of centralized high-performance computing, is really interesting. And again, something that you can only really do on the blockchain. So there is an interesting space for distributed computing as it relates to kind of crypto and AI, but we're not really there yet. I think at the moment, the best we kind of can do is this kind of aggregation layer. And I will just point out that decentralized compute, in the context of what maybe we are able to provide for training, doesn't necessarily mean not co-located, right? We have a large number of co-located machines across our stack, big co-located clusters of hundreds and hundreds of H100s, so we can run large centralized training runs across our stack in the same way that I'm sure Hyperbolic can and has done. So we have to play in the centralized pool a little bit at the moment. I think everyone in AI does, but it would be very, very cool to see a little bit of an evolution in this distributed training space, such that we can start to get a little bit more decentralized in how training happens.
Thank you, Mark. Since we have 5 minutes left, I want to touch on big questions. So it's a forward-looking question. What are the key milestones each of you believe that needs to be achieved in the next 5 years in order for decentralized AI to become the dominant paradigm?
Whoa, that's really hard. I think, so I have thesis that so you think about, right, Elon Musk, he just have a 100,000 H100 GPU factory, right? And 100,000 H100 more than a nation can have in the rest of the world. So like, and also like probably the crypto world. So all of us add up, we're less than 100,000 H100 in our hand. All the crypto community add up. So the essential reason that happened is because like Elon can use equity, can use stock market to fundraise, to raise this money to build this like a giant AI factory. And but you cannot really do that in crypto, because like crypto economy is way smaller than the traditional finance economy. So if like NASDAQ, right, the trading volume is like at least 100x than the crypto community, I guess. And like just Tesla itself, the trading volume already more than the rest of the altcoin add up. So like the size for the financial market and the economic market for decentralized system is still too small for us to build an AI system that is stronger than the centralized system, right? Because what's behind centralized AI? It's equity, it's stock market, it's like the traditional finance system and fiat money system. It's still way bigger than crypto system. But the good news is that like 5 years ago, this system is like super small. But now it's like $2 trillion system. Before 5 years ago, it was like under 1 trillion. It's like 15 billion, something like that. And now it's like 2 trillion. It's growing really fast. So if decentralized AI will be bigger than centralized AI, I think we need to wait for like the decentralized economy that is like bigger than centralized one first.
Yeah, so totally agree. And then I would say like it also depends on the structure of AGI, how the AGI look like. So there are like two thoughts on like how the future AGI will look like. One will be like a giant monolithic general AI model that are capable of solving any task. Another option is you have a modular network of AI agents, and different AI agents are capable of solving different questions in different domains. And I think in order to let decentralized AI to win, I will bet on the second option, which is like the modular route. And in that case, different individuals and developers can utilize fractionalized GPU resources on decentralized GPU network to train and on their own AI model, and host the models on decentralized AI inference service. And by leveraging blockchain to have this like shared economy being let the individuals to benefit from providing the AI models, we can build this giant collaborative AI agents network, such that every time when the AI when the user sends a request, the request can be handled by a certain group of AI agents that are capable of solving that problem, and they can collaborate together and provide a better answer compared to traditional centralized AI models.
Yeah, I think at the moment, the only thing that matters, right, is speed, right? And unfortunately, decentralized AI doesn't optimize for speed, right? So until there's some form of bottleneck that forces the development of AI to transition away from just optimizing for speed, right? Then
Speed, you mean like the bandwidth? Like
the training speed. So like the winning the race is all that matters right now. And the best way to win the race is like adhering to the scaling laws and just cranking up your compute and data, right? That's why bigger data centers mean faster processing of new models, right? That's anti-crypto, right? That's anti-decentralized AI. And if that continues to be the most effective way to train AI, then crypto will always be kind of in the shadow, right? Because we'll never be able to produce models as effectively as those guys. However, there are a number of bottlenecks that we kind of see coming down the horizon that are, 3-5 years away, right? Good data, right? Bottleneck. Global power supply, bottleneck, right? A quick example is if we do start to run out of power to kind of power the amount of compute needed to kind of continue down these scaling laws and create these like new frontier models 5 years from now, then arguably there could be teams making very compelling cases to tap into the latent compute that exists in the already powered devices that we currently have that wouldn't require net new power added to the grid to solve that compute challenge. So I think bottlenecks will drive whether we have the ability to kind of compete at the tippy top level of frontier model development. But if not, I think we always have a really interesting role to play, and potentially one that becomes more culturally or socially relevant as more mistakes inevitably happen with the kind of the bias and the censorship that exists within the way that current models are trained by private companies.
Great. The organizer told me we do have some time for questions since the next panelists still aren't here. So any questions from the audience? At the back and at the front, yeah.
So for applications concerned about censorship, whether it's NSFW content or more sinister uses, decentralized GPU providers offer an alternative to centralized platforms like AWS. So as demand for these apps and therefore the uses of your services grow, do you worry about becoming a target, and how do you plan to mitigate potential legal or regulatory pressures that could arise, given that you're facilitating the compute in a similar sort of situation to Pavel and Telegram, for example?
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer, so this is probably going to be a bad answer.
Yeah, I'm the lawyer. That's good intro.
But yeah, I think I still remember reading a post from someone that was a lot smarter than me, and it was like talking about open source AI models, right? There's a reason why private models or models like, there's a reason that ChatGPT, if you ask it how to create a bomb, for example, or to manufacture a virus, there's a reason it doesn't tell you the answer to that, even though it knows. It absolutely knows. It's just being, it had guardrails deployed on it so that it doesn't give you that answer, right? And someone was commenting, okay, how do we hold the people responsible for the output of open source models when they do have the ability to teach people or tell people how to do it? And someone came back and said, I told my printer how to print the instructions to making a bomb, right? Should I hold the printer responsible, right, for that distribution? And I think it's a question that we don't really know the answer to yet. Like these models and what AI is unlocking is like incredibly powerful, and how we manage and mitigate that power, particularly in a way that makes sense when that power shouldn't necessarily accrue to just kind of one organization is pretty important. But I mean, when you're talking about like NSFW sort of stuff, there are, service providers out there that are already providing that content and hosting it, right? I think there's probably some outrageous statistic of how much or what percentage of global sort of internet storage is based around that type of content. It's probably more than we think, and it's still there. So, yeah, I think it's.
I think it's like a tornado cash situation. It's like
yeah, maybe.
same thing, right?
I don't know, but I think how we manage that content is going to be a challenge, right? Deepfakes, we know, and the outcome of kind of deepfakes plus that NSFW content, it's going to be challenging.
Okay, that's a great way to wrap it up. We still have networking event, and you can ask questions. So I think please join me to thank you all our panelists, and thank you Stara AI for having us.
Thank you.